I knew that I had entered territory that I knew nothing about.
The military were telling us, we're going to neutralize you. In other words, we're going to kill all of you.
And my dad owes his life to Amnesty, and I think in many ways to the dedication and commitment of one particular volunteer.
If you did not support their agenda, then you were an enemy. I knew, as a matter of fact, that they were already looking for me, that my life was at risk. I knew that they were kidnapping people since early 1975. They actually approached us and handcuff us and ask us to accompany them. And that's when the nightmare started. I knew that people going to the D2 had disappeared. That night, they took me into a room where I was completely naked, and they used electric shocks. They were fooling around with a knife, with my private parts. They will come and put me a gun in the mouth and tell me, okay, that's it. But nothing will happen, it will go click. At this point, we are completely isolated from the rest of the world. So being there, knowing that no one can see you, no one can talk to you, and little by little, you start to feel the consequences of that toll, of that isolation. In one of those visits, suddenly my mother tells me that there is this group, Amnesty International, that had adopted me as a prisoner of conscience. And that was a turning point. Suddenly, you realize that there is hope. And that there was this lady by the name of Maeve Porter who was actively involved and responsible for the case.
I simply am not a person who likes to sit at a distance. I want to be there, even at risk, and then contribute if I can. No letters could go directly to Nestor in prison. So this is my nom de guerre, this is my name that I used. Laura Almira Mandel. Just, as much, what can I say, subterfuge as possible, right? The seconds go by and turn into years. I would like to cry out so that you in general, and this would be Amnesty, escuchen, so that you can hear it. I knew that virtually every single step that I was going to take was extremely dangerous. So I stayed with Nestor's mother, Dora Ibar, and she protected me in many ways. So as I was accumulating materials, I realized, okay, I've got a lot. I need to leave again. And I go back to Brazil, back to the United States, and come back to Argentina. And so I did that several times. just about 1:30 in the afternoon on July the 14th.
They tell me to get ready, that I'm going to be released. And I was supposed to be visited that day by my mother, and instead they tell me that they are going to let me go.
So he walked that with tears streaming down his face, and of course, horrendously thin.
And finally I got there, and my mom was there, of course, so excited. I was kind of like in shock also.
Of course, he hugs his mother for quite a while, and then she introduces me.
She turns to this lady and she said, "Oh, and let me introduce you to your cousin, Dianita." That was Mev, of course.
We were introduced with the typical kiss on each cheek, and then we realized that we were both reading the same book. And the book was Ulysses by James Joyce.
So that's a coincidence that, I mean, we always were kind of like amazed. I mean, we were both reading Ulysses. Suddenly we became really very close friends, and that friendship developed into starting a family.
Here I am as a pregnant woman. When you look at that, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that I am going to have a child.
When he came, I mean, he gave me that second shot of energy that I needed in life. And I always wanted to have a child. So Jonathan was the realization of all these dreams that I always had in life.
My dad's courage standing up to a number of atrocities that were taking place, and my mother's choice to step forward and sacrifice was something that I carried with me in my work from the first days to now. They gave me an opportunity in a lot of ways to continue on that struggle, to continue on that fight for good that they both so dearly believe in. And I've had that opportunity to carry that on in places like this building behind us. I was there at the same age that my dad had just ended up in political prison in my early 20s.
He is a product of the efforts of all these people all over the world that actually made possible this outcome, huh? And that's Amnesty. That's Amnesty.
So this picture here,
Yes.
this is right after your release.
That's right after.
Like 1 week after I was released, or less than a week.
So you had just been released after 4 years in political prison with
Yeah.
the woman who had worked on your case to get you released.
Exactly.
Jonathan, here is your very own copy of Ulysses by James Joyce that we are bringing your dad and I to give to you to carry on into the next generation.
Thank you, guys. I think this book and the idea of this means so much because it's what was the first symbol of your meeting after such an incredible struggle. So Dad's inscription, I can hear in your voice the echo of that young man who in the 1970s wanted to change the world. I know that you'll never give up, mi querido hijo, Dad. Thank you, Papa. And then Mom's inscription is, Jonathan, you are my motivation and joy. Your birth was the beginning of my life as mother. Je t'aime, mon fils, for now and forever. Mom, thank you, my mom. Thank you. This is something that I carry with me as the continuation of everything you guys believe in these pages. Thank you for this. I love you both so much. Thank you. Love you too.
I love you,
Thank
Sam.
you guys so much. Love you both. Thank you for giving me this. This is very, very special.